Hello everyone, welcome to a new series I've decided to make on EVE Online. I have been playing this game for a pretty long time, off and on, and I always get bored with it and decide to come back, invest time and money into it again, and then get bored again and leave because I kind of lose focus. So what I've decided to do with this count is to focus on one thing, set a few clear goals that I'll show in a minute, and do it on a free-to-play or an alpha account. I have one paid account right now that I keep active, but for the time being, what I've decided to do is use this free-to-play account, make a character, use it in the Abyss, and see where that gets me. Alright, so here's the goals for the account. Obviously, I have all of the different types of abyssal sites that I want to clear. Ideally, what I'm going to do is be able to clear each iteration of the abyssal site. So there's darks, firestorms, all those things. I want to be able to clear all of them before I check it off and mark it off the box. And then I can, move on to the next thing. And the goal is to efficiently and effectively be able to clear all of these different sites and different types of ships. There's frigates, destroyers, and cruisers that can do the Abyss. On the right hand side, you see that I got some short-term goals. It's a brand new alpha account. I have basically zero money, so I just want to grind out 100 million ISK and then invest that back into the character with skill books and with new ships and better equipment to make myself more efficient and just kind of go from there. I don't think any Abyss account is complete without having the Trigavian Abyssal clothing. So going to grind that out. Maybe I can get it in a drop. Maybe I end up just having to buy it to have that little bit of a flex. And then obviously the last goal that I have listed is achieving Omega status. I want to do it free to play without putting more money into the game. Like I said, I already am supporting CCP. I have a paid account. I really enjoy the game, but I want to just kind of get the experience of what it is to be free to play and what some of the efficient or the better ways to do it is. And I have some blanks. I'm open up to new goals and new opportunities. The raging and chaotic and cataclysmic abyssal sites may be in a different iteration of this because I know the jump between 1, 2, and 0 through 3 and then 4 through 6 is just massive, almost like exponentially difficult, if that makes sense. But these are the goals so far, and without much more ado, let's meet our character. And here he is, Daswolf. You can see he's, 7 days old. I start, because I'm recording this on the 8th of October. So he's not a very old account. He's only in alpha status, so you can see all the crap that we can't use. But started as an Amar. Most of what I've trained is Amar frigate, which took I think 4 or 5 days, maybe less with the booster. I can't rightly recall now. Training some energy weapon skills, and I think I've trained a few miscellaneous small things. You can see I'm using a skill, a referral code to just accelerate my skilling, to accelerate that, give me that 1 million skill points that I can spend. I haven't needed to spend any of them yet, and I'm holding on to them for as long as I can until I decide what I want to do with it as far as the account goes, so I can invest that and just fast track my way towards that. But I don't need all those million skill points to run the Abyss in the ship that I have right now, which being Amar is obviously the Punisher. I think the Punisher is the easiest way to get into the game. I think it'll handle all the T0 sites. I've got videos, to talk about some of the harder sites, but it handles everything T0 from day 0. And I don't think you'll have any issues. Whereas like with Caldari, I think the Kestrel can do it, but it has difficulty with certain things, and it costs almost double to sit into the right ship the kind of way that you want it. And so I just think Amar's the easiest way to go if you're trying to get started, but obviously there's other ways to do it. That being said, let's go ahead and look at the fitting. It's pretty straightforward. It's only 5 mil. I think with current immediate buy prices, I think it ends up being a little bit over 6. Let's see. Okay, it ends up being 8. Oh yeah, definitely a little bit over 6. It ends up being about 8 million. And that's just doing immediate buy prices. And JITA prices may vary wherever you're at, but it's fairly cheap. Meta 3, Meta pretty much everything. The most expensive things that you're having to buy is this power grid implant and the crystals. The power grid is because I don't have good fitting skills. So to put damage on there, I needed to buy this, which is still less than 1 million credits, or ISK, I think. Yeah, it's 886 ISK. So the biggest expense is coming from the multi-frequencies, the Navy standards, and the power grid implant. But I think they're all worth it because you need the range, you need the damage. And you can see we're getting 127 DPS at 7 kilometers, or 7 kilometers, and then 14 to 17 kilometers with this at 85 damage per second. So it's a pretty good ship. You'll see it's not cap stable. It's not really a big issue. I've been running T0s, so most of the time I just run it like this. And if there's one room I think that I have to turn it on and pulse it occasionally, but for the most part it just runs on one, totally stable without any issues at all. So let's jump straight into some Tzero filaments, and I can show you a couple of the rooms that you may have issues with, and then we'll come back and wrap up the end of this segment. And here we have the striking Damavik. The striking Damavik, who is one of the Triglavian frigates. You'll find that he accelerates. They use a micro warp drive. They fly pretty quick. I need to fix my overlay settings. I'll have that fixed for the next video. But they micro warp drive to you. And they usually orbit you between 6 and 9 kilometers, depending on just what their orbit patterns are. This is basically no issue. You can just use multi-frequency the entire time. If you find that he gets to pull range on you because of some weird orbiting pattern, you can just switch to standard. It'll still kill it pretty quickly. You can see we're running Firestorm, so we get extra armor, which means the Triglavians, which are armor tanked, get extra armor. So it does take a little bit of time to chew through them, but not even having to touch the second rep. I'm sitting here on the bio cache, which I was just thinking I needed to go ahead and kill it, so I can go ahead and fly to the transfer conduit, and bam, there I go. It's almost like I've recorded these videos before. But yeah, pretty straightforward. You're just gonna burn to the cache, shoot it while you're shooting the Damaviks, and then just jump as soon as you kill it. No problem there. Next, we have the Devoted Hunter Room, which is a frigate spawn. I think this is the reason why I have 2 armor repairs. I probably could damage it and take it in 1, but this is right now, while my skills are low, this is the reason why I have the 2, because he hits hard and he does a fair amount of damage, and he's fairly tanky for what you're going to be dealing with as far as this goes. It's probably one of the tankier frigates out there. The only one that's more tanky than it would probably be the Desparu, which we'll watch a video on next. Yeah. Other than that, pretty much what you're wanting to do. Usually you see I had to change priorities because I'm like, oh crap, I'm actually taking a decent amount of damage. But you'll find that I decided to orbit it closely and just load multi-frequency and just shoot it till it's dead pretty much. And that's pretty much all there is to it. This is the one thing that you'll probably want that second armor rep for, like I said. But I wouldn't run it the whole time because you're only going to last a minute, and this fight can be a little bit more drawn out than that. So if you find that he's applying damage pretty well, you might need to just change your flight pattern and then pulse that armor repair once or twice. But again, you're dealing with that whole bar. You have a little bit of extra buffer, and this ship is shield tanked. So as soon as you chew through that shield, you are going to be golden because the rest of it falls pretty quickly if I'm not mistaken. And you see we're tanking it fine. That second repper is doing work though. the last clip I'm going to show you is the desparu, the Edencom frigate. It is a tanky son of a gun. You see, I bought a bunch of different crystals just to show you that you need a certain threshold of DPS to be able to break through the tank. Your armor is going to be fine. One repper will out-rep it. You'll do perfectly fine. But this 44, 46 DPS that I'm dealing right here is not going to be enough to break the tank. You can see him over-repping. It's an active rep shield fit, and it is just powering through my cycles. I'm not going to take it down. So switching, I decide to go to, I think I go to infrared next, which is a little bit closer range. It does the 65 DPS, 66. There may be some issues with application and stuff, but you're going to see that even with this applying pretty well, I'm not going to be breaking the shield. He's going to over-rep it, and it's going to take way too long, and you're going to die to time. Because, again, you have that 20-minute timer, and if it's great if they can't kill you, but if you can't kill them, then you lose all the same. So 65 ends up not cutting it, and I switch to, I think, standard or gamma. No, I just jumped straight to gamma, I think. No, that's X-ray. Sorry. Shoot. Switch to X-ray, and that point right there, when I start dealing 90 DPS, is where the shield starts breaking. You see the red bars going up. I was getting past his reps and still chewing it out, and so I said, okay, that's good. That's all I need to know. Let me just switch to multi-frequency, which is what I would be doing anyways now that I'm really close to him, and let me just burn him down. At this point, we're pretty much, like I said, just flying in a straight line. And even with the accuracy or the fall-off nerf that darks give you, I'm still well within my range to be killing them and not having any issues. I don't even think I have to pulse the second repper. I am losing, I guess, a little bit on the DPS battle when it comes to my armor breaking somewhat, but he's going down way faster than I am, and it's a shield tank ship. So as soon as I start hitting hull, it just gets deleted. I did make an error here, though. I said, oh, I got it. I totally good. Let me just fly to the cache. And I forgot that I'm in a dark, and I fly really quick, and I have no range. And so I'm like, oh, no. Well, let me go ahead and switch to, I guess, standard and just power through it since I'm far away. Or do I stick on the multi-frequency? Yeah, no, I think I stick on the multi-frequency. But he reps all the way back up, because I was a dum-dum and I have to chew through his shield again. So make sure you get the kill and then fly to the bioadaptive. That was just kind of a waste of time, but it ended up not mattering. It's just a little funny. Make sure you confirm the kill before you move on to the next target or the next thing. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I guess we'll just finish this video watching them kill, and then we'll go back to the hangar and see what our loot is. All right, back in the hangar. Here we are. You see that we've done a little bit of hustle, made a little bit of work. We're up to 16 million ISK in total net worth. I've already gone through and sold off the Chergavian database surveys in a different video. I'm re-recording this. This is the second or third time I think I've re-recorded this. The next ones will be better, I promise. I think I've kind of gotten the flow that I want to have happen at the time frames that I want to have it happen. So this is what we got so far. 8 million ISK and 5 million cash, I think. So it says worth 16 million. I think that's with including the ship too. So, but you see we've got a lot of calm filaments, which I think I'm going to hold on to these. One thing I explained in the other video, I'm going to hold on to the crystalline and the 0-point condensate, probably to turn it into making blueprints for cheap and try and get some money out of that. I've decided that I'm going to spin all of the armor repairs that I can get for the time being. You see I actually got a pretty good spin here, and I'm going to plug it into the ship. It's not too bad at all. More armor, less time. The only thing that's bad about it is it takes a little bit more power grid, but I'll take that. The next time we're just going to try and hit the darks, tranquils, exotics. We're going to try and take care of all the tranquils, get them all knocked off so we can get that one thing checked off of our list and we can make it happen. And I also have some planned upgrades for the ship that I'd like to do next time. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I don't know what my upload schedule is going to be. I'm going to have to figure that out, between my real life work and this hobby that I am doing right now. I don't know what that schedule is going to be. I would try and like to make it pretty consistent. And I want to keep recording footage and getting footage done for this account. So I imagine that there's going to be, at least at the beginning, it's probably going to be pretty quick and pretty nice. It's going to be very easy to progress and to keep moving forward with just unlocking new things on the ship, unlocking new tiers of the Abyss. But for the time being, I definitely would love y'all's input, comments, likes, whatever the YouTube demands, I guess, to get engagement, I think is the word. I don't know. Not a huge big YouTuber. I just thought this would be an interesting little thing and a good way to spend some of my extra energy and give me, like I said, a purpose with Eve. I hope this gives you some kind of purpose if you want to take this challenge with me and just go into the Abyss and try and being self-sufficient off of just the Abyss, and then just gauge from an alpha account on up. I encourage you to do that. In the meantime, I hope you guys fly safe and have a good day.